I'm Todd Bookspan, and welcome to your neighborhood real estate show. The hyperlocal real estate show where real estate professionals talk about the neighborhood you live in or the neighborhood you want to live in. This episode is brought to you by homebuyeruniversity.net, your free comprehensive guide to buying or refinancing your home. Click over to homebuyeruniversity.net to get started online today. Hello, welcome to your neighborhood real estate show. I'm the host, Todd Bookspan, and we're going to be talking about Val Vista Lakes, 85234 today. I'm so excited to have Cindy Flowers. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it.
You all don't know this, but Cindy's like a legend here in Arizona in the real estate world. I know you hate it when we say that, but I say we because everyone says it.
Well, I'm just a normal realtor, and I guess it's just proof that this business won't kill you. You last this long in this industry. So.
All right, so you've got the Bill and Cindy Flowers team, right? So you work
Yes.
with your husband, Bill, and you've got family in the business with you. I know that at least Sunny works with you. And
Yeah, she actually now doesn't work so much on the real estate end. She has her own paint and remodeling company.
Oh, that's
so she's
awesome.
kind of branched off and doing that. So, yeah.
Well, that's good. We should talk about that. What's it called? We should give her a plug.
It's called Always Sunny Painting.
Oh, that's great. See, I need that. I always can use a painter.
Yeah. Oh, her guys are amazing. They just do an amazing job.
Well, that's good. See, we got a plug in there. And so
Yeah, good.
you truly been doing real estate in the Valley for a while.
I moved here in 1980, and I had been building and selling modular homes in the mountains above Denver before that. So I'm in my 43rd year in real estate.
Yeah, and I love that you were, a builder, and you came here to be a builder too, correct?
I did. I did come here to build houses. I came here to visit my dad one February in 1980 because everything was frozen over in Colorado in the mountains, and I couldn't complete the houses. We couldn't connect the water lines. The frost line was too deep. So I came to visit my dad, and I thought Phoenix was some dusty, dirty desert town. And he picked me up at the old Sky Harbor Terminal 1.
Terminal 1, oh yeah.
And the bags came out on the conveyor belt outside. And the sun was shining. February 5, we're frozen over in Colorado, and citrus growing and palm trees and flowers, and I thought I had arrived in heaven. I just instantly fell in love and went home and put my house on the market. Dad gave me a bridge loan because my house wasn't going to sell till summer.
Yeah,
Not going to
had
sell in the
thought a
dead of
little
winter. And I moved to Mesa Dobson Ranch in 1980, and I've never looked back. I have loved it here ever since.
And there wasn't a whole lot out east.
No, that
back
was
then.
kind of the edge of everything.
Yeah.
The 60 dead ended at Country Club.
Yep.
And Dobson Ranch was very new. Fiesta Mall was brand new. Can you imagine? And now it's almost closed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
yeah.
that's 40 years ago.
Well, and that's when we moved to Arizona in 1977. I just remember we were in Phoenix, so like when we were talking like Mesa, I was like, all right, we're going to have to pack a lunch or something. It's so far away.
Exactly.
But now it's just right next door.
Yeah. But we have freeways to get there too.
And so you came here, you started building houses, and you decided to sell real estate.
Yeah, I didn't get to decide to sell real estate. I was building houses, and prime rate was 21%.
Yeah,
so I was paying 2 above prime on my construction loans, this nice preferred rate. And we had houses built with subdivision streets in, water lines in, block walls in, out in Apache Junction, this little piece of land my dad had found. And come to find out, the small privately held water company could not get the 100-year assured water unless they signed with CAP. They didn't have the money to sign with CAP to get that. We couldn't get our C of Os. We couldn't move people into the homes we had built. And I'm paying interest, $7,000 a month, I remember, to Valley National Bank way back then. And I had to do something, as I had signed up that I would pay for this. Dad wasn't going to pay it. He made the arrangements to get the property, but I needed to fix this. So the people I bought my house from, Walt and Nancy Seago, told me, well, you should get a real estate license. You can earn a lot of money doing that. So I got a real estate license, did everything they told me to do, held everybody else's listings open. I only knew my dad. I didn't know anyone here. So I held open houses, knocked doors, invited people to them. When interest rates were 18% for FHA and VA.
Oh, yeah.
And we did all creative financing. And I figured it out and paid that $7,000 a month.
Wow.
And that was a rough start, but, had to be done. And I also just loved listing and selling real estate. And it just took off for me. And I've actually restarted my career about 4 times holding open houses, knocking doors around other people's listings. Because if I would get into management, or I had a new home sales company in the 80s, and then the market crashed, the savings and loans all went under, and all my builders were partnered with Western Savings. So now the subdivisions were, so I jumped back into real estate, resale, and or I'd jump into management to pay the bills and raise my kids. And so anytime I've switched careers in real estate, I've always restarted by holding open houses on other people's listings and knocking doors to invite people to them. So.
And is that the advice you'd give a new agent today?
Absolutely. I've got a new agent on my team. She's amazing. And that's what she does. She doesn't know anybody. She came from Chicago. Now, we do have a database, and we've got a farm, and we've got, some things for her to plug into. But she's a worker, and she's out there at least 3 days a week, usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, holding open houses. And she's brought listings into the team and buyers in, and she's amazing. So, yes, that's the exact advice I'd give.
I love it. So 20 years ago, you guys joined up at Keller Williams Integrity First. So you're a member of Steve Chater's group over there.
Yeah, I actually started with Keller Williams Legacy One, Linda Bechtel's company.
Oh, yeah.
And then they closed the Gilbert branch office that we had been working in and helping to build. And I didn't want to drive all the way to Ocotillo Lakes to their other branch because I live and work in Gilbert. And so I went knocking on Steve's door, who I had known since the 80s, and said, "Can I come to your company?" I wanted to stay at Keller Williams. I knew that. There was no discussion, and I'll stay there till they don't let me sell real estate anymore. I'm a Gary Keller fan, that's for sure. But so I've been with Keller Williams 20 years now.
And so there you've built a team. So what does the team look like today?
So today I have some amazing office staff people that I have a team manager, Misty Mayland. I have an office manager, Michelle McMorrin. I just this week hired one of my showing agents / buyer agents to come work with me and be my listing manager, my backup, because I'm so busy with the listings. And I'm looking for a listing partner, looking for someone else to take listings. I'm looking for more buyer specialists. We've got 3 people now working with buyers. So, but we just have, we just really work it full time.
We've got so many people you've helped over the years that still want to do business, which is a good problem to have. A good problem to have. So let's talk then about Val Vista Lakes. I mean, when I said, hey, where do you love selling homes? You said, I love selling homes in Val Vista Lakes.
I do, and I live in Val Vista Lakes, and I'd love selling Val Vista Lakes even if I didn't live there. It's such a unique master plan community that was built in the late 80s. I sold some of the original homes that custom builders built on the water in Val Vista Lakes, and then that crisis happened with the savings and loans, and even our water was looking kind of rough, and our HOA areas were looking rough. We had houses sitting at frame stage for several years. It was a tough time, but Val Vista Lakes hung in there, and then new builders came in and started completing it, and it finally was all built out. But it's just unique because of the clubhouse that Dennis Barney, that was kind of his brainchild. And again, Western Savings and Loan was a joint venture partner. Nobody could build a community like that anymore. That's a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence to have the bucks of the, Western Savings to back and do this big, thing. We do have other water communities in the valley, but these lakes are big. And
they are.
You can boat all over them.
The community center is beautiful.
There's 3 different, the community centers, multi-million, I think it was $10 million when it was built. It would have been way more today. It would cost way more. But to have a tennis center there with beautiful tennis courts, racquetball courts, a junior Olympic pool, lots of swim meets are held there. There's a big sandy beach that's just unique. And my little grandkids always ask to go to the beach. We don't drive to San Diego. We go over to the club.
It's right there.
Because they can play in the sand and you swim in the water. It's just like you're in a big pond of water on a beach. And waterfalls. It's beautiful for weddings and events. It's just pretty special what's there. And then the community has all types of housing. So waterfront homes in gated communities. We have some waterfront homes in non-gated communities. then there are a lot of regular production-built homes that are very nice. Everything's older now, but most of our homes now are being refurbished. You
Yeah.
see everybody fixing them up. And
Exactly. They're hiring Always Sunny Painting to come in
yes,
there and
they do.
that.
They hire them. That's right. Some of them have. Oh my gosh, Sunny has done some amazing things on some Val Vista Lakes custom homes that are just stunning. But yeah, it's special, and it's all price ranges. That's the other thing that's cool about it. There's the beach club condos are there.
So what do they start at?
Oh, in the low twos. And then you all the way up to multi-million-dollar homes.
live on the lake.
There's a $2.2 million home in there
Wow.
right now, 2.9 million, I think it might be, over on Westlake and on the other side of the clubhouse. So, but it's there's over 2,000 homes in there. It's a big community, but it's all bordered pretty much by Baseline, Greenfield, Guadalupe, and then it does go west of Val Vista about another half a mile over to the canal. And so it's just all contained right in that one community, and it's pretty special.
Yeah, I always love going out there because it's just so different, right? Because of the lakes and
It
because of
is.
the size. Whereas other communities, like you said, with lakes, but they're small.
Right,
There's
like a
just
little
not as much going
canal.
on.
If I can throw a baseball across it, it's not big enough. So, but and the other thing is that it's so affordable. It's $90 a month.
Yeah.
If you're in a gated community, there's another 100 or something with that. But all of the people get all of that for their $90 a month. There's communities where you pay $75 and they hardly take care of the community,
Right.
and you don't get any of that.
Mow the lawn and have a light
So
on the
yeah,
sign.
it's just it's pretty unique and really popular. Hardly ever anything for sale in there. Inventory's low. We did recently, I know you might have realtors listening that might benefit. I've been wanting to do for the last several years a Val Vista Lakes tour. Not a title company tour, not a SEBRA or MLS tour, just Val Vista Lakes. And so I've been planning it, but the market's been kind of crazy and up and down, and it just didn't seem right. But I started last fall telling my team, all right, we got to pull this together. So we pulled in some vendor partners and to kind of help put some ideas together. And we held our first one a week ago, Saturday morning. And we thought, well, I don't know if anybody will come. And we flyered all the doors, and we direct mailed to people, and we're doing some social media stuff. And the time came for people to come pick up their maps at my office. And nobody was there. And so here we're all sitting around thinking, okay, what if no one comes?
Uh-oh.
And we had all that. We had the listings held open. We had all the realtors keyed, not just my company or
Right.
not just my team, not just Keller Williams Integrity First. We had all different companies
that's great.
holding open houses because I just wanted us all to help each other sell our listings in Val Vista Lakes and learn about each other's listings. So the previous Thursday, 2 days before, we did just a realtor tour of just us. Of us realtors who have listings
Great
in
way
Val
to see
Vista
it.
Lakes. And so we went and previewed each other's listings, gave feedback, and then we all held them open that Saturday. So I'm at the office. I got agents out on the open houses, and everybody else's is open too. And no one comes in the door. No one's in the door. Thinking, what if no one comes and picks up their maps and their free water? And, we'll wait. All of a sudden, a lady comes in, and then 3-4 more people came in, and then some more people came. We didn't even have room for everyone in the office. And they weren't coming in and doing I just want the map and leaving. Only one lady did that. Everyone came in and said, hi, we're the so-and-sos. We just live
that's
right over
great.
here. We know you live in here too. And we're selling next fall. And we're looking to buy, what would our home sell for? We're going to go see all the ones for sale and get staging ideas. It was amazing. It was like we knew everybody that came in the door.
Oh, that's so great.
They knew us. It was amazing. So, boy, did that ever boost our spirits and calm our fears that no one would come. So we're doing it the third week of every month.
Oh, that's
We're
awesome.
going to keep going
All right.
with it. So
Third week of every month, Val Vista.
Val Vista Lakes tour.
And where would they get info on that? Would they go to your website?
They can email me,
flowersgetresults.com?
Cindy at flowersgetresults.com.
flowersgetresults.com.
Because flowers do get results,
I know. So,
my kids came up with that a whole bunch of years ago.
So you guys love Val Vista Lakes, but you sell the whole Southeast Valley.
We do sell the whole Southeast Valley. I do primarily target Gilbert. Gilbert's my stomping grounds. My kids all graduated from Gilbert High School when there was only one Gilbert High School. And now there's a whole bunch of them. But I love Gilbert. I'm on the Chamber of Commerce. I'm on the Public Policy Committee. I'm just a Gilbert fan.
Yeah.
I moved there in 1984, sold my home in Dobson Ranch because I'd been selling everything out in Gilbert, which you drove through the country to get to Gilbert back in those days. And my office was in Tempe at Rural and Baseline. And we all went on office tours back in those days because there was no internet and no other way to find out about the listings.
That's how you went and saw the houses.
And they'd say, Cindy, I suppose you have a listing for us to see way out in Gilbert again. You know, they would just dread because it was so far
now they're
from
jealous.
Rural and Baseline.
Now they're jealous. They didn't build a business out in Gilbert like you did.
And Gilbert had one stoplight at Gilbert and Elliott when I moved there. There were everything else was a four-way stop. Now it's 270 or 80,000 people in Gilbert. And so I'm really proud of how Gilbert has grown and how organized in such an organized way they've done it. It's the schools, everything. It's a great place to live. So I do target my marketing there. Yes, I have sold and had offices all over Mesa, Chandler, East, Apache Junction, Gold Canyon, Santan Valley, Queen Creek. And all of that's so easy to get to. My office is at Val Vista and Baseline. So I'm kind of in the middle of all of that. Tempe, I went to school at ASU. I know Tempe. I handled subdivisions for builders all over the valley. So I love the valley, but I really love Gilbert. And I especially love Val Vista Lakes. So.
And so you mentioned you had people coming in who said, hey, I'm going to sell later in the year. So how are you talking to people? Right now, obviously inventory is pretty low. So how are you having people prep that far in advance to sell their home?
Yeah, and it's so interesting. I just talked to that lady that said she had actually said we're thinking of selling next spring, and so we're going to go see what we're supposed to do to stage our house and what things we need to do to get it ready. And of course I said, well, I have a daughter that'll help you get it ready too, But in general, that's what they did. So she won the drawing. We had some gift cards that were donated by Yvette Meyer for our home warranty, and so we did the drawing, and this lady won one of those. And so she stopped in the office just yesterday and picked up her gift card. And she said, well, we're actually thinking about maybe a little sooner now. So what really happens is when we start talking with them and we show them the steps to get ready, it's not a big complicated thing. It seems unknown to others, but we've done it so much and for so long. We can simplify that and show them maybe this is the time to sell what you don't want. This is my standard thing. I've been saying it for several years now. Sell what you don't want, buy what you do want, because the appreciation is ongoing. Yeah, there's no end in sight right now. I mean, we all know that it'll slow down, and maybe it's a year, maybe it's 2, and maybe it's 5, But we do know for sure this year, Mike Orr says, and Tina Tambor, this demand is real. This is not the bubble that we saw before. This is not anything else. There are so many home buyers and not enough inventory, and the economy's looking great. House prices have to go up, and they will keep going up this year. So it's a great time to sell what you don't want, because everything will sell. And I mean, if you have a home, Tina says dump your junk. So if you have a home backing to the freeway wall, which I sold in the high times, backing to the Walmart loading dock, power lines, busy streets, not in pristine condition, it will still sell right now. It won't sell in a more, competitive market. And so it's just a great time to sell what you don't want. Get what you really want going forward for the next 5 to 10 years and get that equity going and buy at today's interest rates. That's the other, I can't even remember the time we've ever had this combination of good factors. And of course, you could speak to the interest rate part of it. Oh my gosh, why would people not do this right now?
Yeah, I've been telling all my friends in the mortgage business that, I think the next 2 years could be the best years they've ever had, because normally you either have a refi market but no purchase market, or a purchase market and no refi market. And I think we're going to have both. And it's going to be a great time to be in the business for anyone who's prepared and has done a good job of nurturing their database and keeping in touch with their clients.
And somehow we have to get this word out to people. I have a theory. If all the people I have probably 100 or more people wanting to sell their homes, but they can't see what they want to buy available. They're afraid to be homeless, which I don't blame them.
I would not be homeless either.
We haven't had to pitch any tents in our parking lot for anybody so far. We always come up with something, but I get it. So if we could just get the consumer confidence, go in the right direction, and everybody who wanted to change bases would just put their homes on the market. Everybody could get what they want, trade it out, and there'd be plenty for everyone. So
how are you prepping the buyers then? Because again, buyers are going into a limited inventory market. What is that conversation
Same thing.
look like?
We're making sure they're completely pre-qualified, pre-approved, ready to go, so we can win that. And the dilemma is when they have a home to sell.
Right.
So I created my little jumpstart program, I call it. So we have their home staged, painted, photos taken. We're just pre-entered in MLS, listing agreement signed. We're ready to push the button and activate their listing once they find something. We are winning bids with that theory. People don't typically want to accept your offer when your client hasn't even put their home on the market yet.
Started it, got it ready, had
Right.
the conversation about making it look
And
good.
ours is still not on the market, but we tell them all of this. We can show them listing agreements, we can show them the photos, we can show them the comps. This is where they're going to price it. It's going to sell in a few days, and you've got a good solid buyer already pre-approved right here. So we're doing all this work up front so that all the dominoes can just fall when we find the right house for them.
All right, folks, that is true expertise and experience at its best.
It's working. It surprises me when it works, because if it's my sellers and somebody said all that to me, I was like, well, I don't know. Go ahead and get it under contract and then we'll talk, But it's actually working. A lot of people know us, a lot of realtors know us, and they trust us.
They trust your name.
Yeah, so that helps too. We like working with each other, we know each other, and so that's working.
I love that piece. So let's switch gears for a second. One of the, you mentioned your involvement in the community. I know one of the groups that you really support is the Starbright Foundation.
Oh, yes.
And, I know the folks over there. We've supported them ourselves here.
I know you have. Thank you for that.
But can you just give a quick background on what they do?
Yeah,
It's so
Starbright
important.
Foundation, Lori Rainier, who is a realtor friend of mine, started this years ago. I don't know how many. When I first heard about it, I was horrified. I did not know. Now we know. We hear human trafficking all the time, and human trafficking of children.
Yeah.
And I didn't know the details about how
terrible.
rampant it was, and how Arizona in particular, even Gilbert, where I live. I mean, there was one day, years back, they caught 17 bad guys at Santan Mall, the brand new Santan Mall. And I mean, they're at the malls, they're hanging out, they're looking for our kids. And I think she spoke, I've forgotten if I heard her speak at a women's event or something.
She spoke at our Women's Strength event. It was so
that's because
so
I
moving.
recommended her.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And I remember when I did that, and Susie said, oh, Cindy, I was traumatized last time I heard her speak. And I said, good, we all need to be traumatized.
Exactly.
That's why she needs to speak.
Oh, yeah, and I had her on my radio show shortly thereafter to talk about it on the radio.
It is. It's horrifying. And I'm kids are my world.
Yeah.
I will get choked up here. Kids are just, they're our future. They're everything. And my kids and my grandkids and my great-grandkids, I mean, they're my world. It's why I do what I do. But Lori was telling these stories, and I was so horrified. And how can we help? Lori, what can we do? She said, help me get the word out. And that's what we do. And we created a little certificate. So instead of a housewarming gift to our clients when they either sell a home with us or buy a home through us, they get a certificate that says a donation has been made to the Starbright Foundation.
Love that.
Because it's just a way we can just keep getting money over there. We've been over and pulled weeds at the safe house. Starbright Foundation has the only safe house for children. All the others in the state of Arizona are for adults, like 18 and older. This is the only place kids can go, and there are babies, there are toddlers, there are young children that have been in this system and traumatized. And it's just so horrific. And there's just not enough. We can't do enough.
Yeah.
We just can't do enough. And I'm so happy that I think Cindy McCain has gotten behind it. I know there's some Chandler police officers and people that come to the meetings, and that have now, everybody's aware now. Thank heavens for that.
Yeah,
but
so
we
important.
still need the money to take care of the children. And so they have resident pastors at the safe house in Gilbert. And like I say, we at Keller Williams Integrity First have done our Red Day activity, pulling weeds and digging
So
trenches
great.
and cleaning up the property and helping with the prayer garden and all the things that we can do. And right now we're still trying to raise enough money to build a dorm wing, more rooms, so they can take care of more children there, because there's nowhere else for little ones to go.
Yeah, so if you're interested at all in supporting the cause, look up the Starbright Foundation.
Yes.
Here in
Donate.
Gilbert.
Again, they have the tax matching. You can give $800 to them, and you get your $800 tax.
Yeah, and so those of you who aren't
Free.
aware, right, so the state of Arizona has the tax benefit, and that falls under the foster care, I believe, or under one of the, there's different,
they're
a few
listed
different
in there.
versions, but ultimately, right, you can, as a married couple filing jointly, you can donate $800, and you'll actually get a dollar for dollar refund back on your
taxes.
Or it'll offset if you owe money. And so
Right.
it's just such
So
a great
why
way to
not
get
do
money.
that? Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of great organizations
money
out there,
to
but
them.
Starbright could definitely use it.
Or I'll send you a copy of my Starbright certificate, and you can send that to your clients for housewarming gifts.
Perfect. Love it. Love it. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, because I know that that's something that's important to you, and I wanted to make sure that we got that
Thank
out
you.
there. But
Thank you for that.
I can't imagine that you did not learn something about real estate from Cindy Flowers. It was such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you,
to hear
Todd. I
your
appreciate
stories.
everything you do for our industry.
Thank
Let
you.
me give you a plug,
I
because
appreciate
it's
that.
amazing what you do for women, but for our industry in general. It's just, amazing.
I appreciate that.
Thank
All right.
you.
I'm Todd Bookspan. That's Cindy Flowers. This is Your Neighborhood Real Estate Show. We'll see you next episode. This episode is brought to you by homebuyeruniversity.net, your free comprehensive guide to buying or refinancing your home. Click over to homebuyeruniversity.net to get started online today.